Welcome to the Northernist Podcast. This is episode 143, and we are two friends in fiber coming to you from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Background noise brought to you by playing kittens and teenagers.
Something's gonna go crash. I just know it.
It's entirely possible. Phaedra is in kitten play mode at the moment, and things go sideways whenever that happens to me. So it is Sunday afternoon. It is December something or other. It's a double digit. 15th, 14th. Friday was the 13th. So that makes today the 15th of December. We're getting close to Christmas, guys. My days are starting to go wonky. I'm Jocelyn. My co-host is
Diana. And
theoretically, she'll let you know what we're going to cover, and we'll see how many times I derail her.
We have slated for discussion today.
Slated for discussion?
Yeah.
That makes us sound way too professional.
What's in our cup? Cool threads, woolly workings, yarn on the go, wool gathering, and kniterature.
Woo!
Just playing in a box with a mouse. It's just freaking adorable.
The most unstealthy cat. She didn't have other cats when she was growing up. It's always just been her, and I've had her since she was 3 months. So we never outgrew kitten play. So it's an awkward hot mess, and it's always been that way, and I love it.
Didn't want my foot getting attacked.
That
next to a mouse.
seems wise. She attacks Matt all the time. Alright. What's in our cup?
Yeah, I think we're drinking the same thing today.
We are drinking the same thing today.
Got some pumpkin chai from David's Tea.
We do. That's because we both needed caffeine.
Yeah.
It's one of those days. I have a secondary beverage. I'm drinking some cranberry, raspberry, Schweppes ginger ale. List all those words. So many words. My niece is loose upstairs. She's currently not allowed on her computer, so if you guys are hearing stomping, that is the 13-year-old making her presence known. If you don't, then it's nothing, because I mean, sometimes we hear the puppy, sometimes we don't. Just depends on the day, so. But yeah, no, we are drinking the same thing today. And you guys are going to see me scroll my eyes off screen the whole time, because I find her play delightful. Unless it's around my feet when I'm trying to work, then I find it annoying.
Alright, let's talk about some cool threads.
Sure.
What have you been wearing this week?
The usual suspects, which are the Mallow cardigan, the Find Your Fade shawl, and your mittens when it was warm enough, though for most of the week it was like minus 20 and then some, so it wasn't. But on the days where it was only like down to minus 20 Celsius, I wore your gloves. Does that help? What else did I wear? I also busted out the cowl, which has no pattern. It's called the cowl because it's like the second thing I ever knit, which was just a round and round mat, and it's huge. Like, I put it down and I can pull it up over my head, and it is dense as all get out because I wanted to have it for the minus 30 days. No wind gets through that, and it's an acrylic yarn, so like it holds any heat amazingly well because it doesn't breathe at all, which is perfect for when I want to be wearing it. It's actually Bernat blanket yarn.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I used the entire big ball of Bernat blanket yarn on my cowl. Like, it is intense cowlness going on. It's really good.
Nice. I've broken out the Wonder Woman shawl. It's more of a shawlette, but when you wrap it all up around your neck, it doesn't look nerdy. Wow, I can't speak today. I need more caffeine. It doesn't look nerdy because I deeply enjoy things where it's like sneaky nerd.
Sneaky nerd?
Yeah, so like a Wonder Woman shawl that's very clearly a Wonder Woman shawl when you like hold it out, but when it's all bunched up around your neck like a cowl, it just looks like a really nice cowl.
Okay.
Sneaky nerd. Like the also those I have flower bud earrings, but they have like bloodshot eyeballs in the middle of them, and it's great because you can always tell when somebody's talking to me and they suddenly notice what earrings I'm wearing, because they just suddenly like space right out and stop, because you think they're these sweet little pink flowers, and then no wait, there's eyeballs staring at me. I love hidden things like that.
I'd have to get way too close to your face to see that.
It amuses me greatly.
That's fair.
The other thing I've been wearing is, it is now cold enough that I've been needing a hat, so I've been wearing your cat hat underneath my hoods.
Yeah, hey listen, that cat hat comes in handy.
It does. It looks real stupid over a ponytail, but you know what? It fits. So it's been getting a lot of wear this week.
What was the year when they did that march for equality and women's rights in the States?
Mm-hmm.
That they came out with, and I don't like the name that they use. I call it a cat hat. And that year for Christmas, I knit everybody in Craft Club cat hats.
Yeah.
Because I'd made one for myself and everybody liked it, so I just made them one too, so they could all have one. So that worked. Which is good that you've been wearing that, because then we can also talk about the presents that we got at Craft Club this year.
Yeah.
Because we got some good ones. I can't show you the ones I gave away, because I gave them away. But I'm told the house slippers went over great.
They did, in fact.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Which is good. And a pair right now are being hidden from a mother as we speak. Ah, delightful. All right. Anything else?
No, I think we're on to Woolly Workings now.
Oh my god, we're streamlining it like crazy. That won't last.
Well, I think it's because we've seen each other like 4 times this week, so we don't have all the derailment to talk about.
It's not that once in 7 days we have to cram in all our visiting in 3 hours. Go. It's spread out. With that, or she's bored of me. She can't see me 4 times in a week. She's over it. Cool. I know what it's like. You only want to be a part-time friend. I get it. Alright. I suppose I'm going first.
Honestly, you're the person I see the most in a week besides my husband and coworkers. I'm just a hermit.
Your husband really should always remain ranked above me on that scale, because you live with him. You do not live with me and you see your coworkers Monday through Friday. They should also rank higher than me.
Yeah, and then aside from that, like, you're the person I see the most reliably every week.
Well, it's because your best friend travels a lot.
Everybody travels a lot.
I don't.
Yeah.
I stay at home. Well, no, I go out of town, but I go out of town like once for like a month and a half.
Yeah, you do all of your out of town all at once.
All at once and I'm done. And soon, shortly, we'll be recording only in person when we're both traveling to places together. That'll be weird. There'll be a lot of talking when that happens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a thing.
Suddenly the podcast is 3 hours long.
No. No, I will not do that to people. That's crazy. Alright, let's talk some mostly finished objects.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so this morning, I have a lot of really big projects on the go, so what am I doing? Picking up tiny things I can finish real quick, because I need to have an FO. I need to be able to go, I have done a thing. And it is finished. And they're not finished because I got to do a hat on one snowman, and I got to buy some buttons. Because if you guys remember, I don't keep buttons. No, I don't randomly have spare buttons. So I crocheted some snowman stuffies.
They're so cute.
And they're really freaking quick, which is really nice. I've been on the hunt to find a pattern that I like to make a tree skirt, because I would like to do a homemade tree skirt for a tree for next year. So I'll buy the yarn this year and then buy the yarn for the tree skirt and whatever I want to make decoration wise for the tree, and I'll make it during the year next year. However, that means I'm watching a lot of Christmas tutorial playlists right now, because I want to find a tree skirt I like, right? Mm-hmm. Knitting ones, crocheting ones. So I went through Jada in Stitches, who's a crocheter who I adore, because I made that hat, the sweater, and what's the other one I did? Mittens. She did those tutorials this year.
Okay. That
was from her. So I was looking through her older ones, and she had done snowmen. So I was like, I've got white yarn. I need to make a snowman. So I held 2 worsted yarn of white together. One was, there's literally scraps. It's leftover Red Heart soft from the elf hat and some Burnout Super Saver. And then the red is literally the leftover red from the elf hat that I made for my niece. Did you guys saw? That's it. What I did is I crocheted the snowman. It's all in one piece. So you do the head, then you do the body. And then you knit the little scarf. She doesn't have a hat on her snowman, which is super okay because that's a personal choice. I like my snowman with toques. So I gave my snowman a toque by taking the ornament snow toque that she made earlier, and I just made it bigger so it would fit over his larger head than the Christmas tree ornament size.
So cute.
So now I need to go find him some buttons, and I need to find some orange yarn because he needs a nose. So he needs some eyeballs and a nose. He's short eyeballs and a nose, but his body is done. He's stuffed. His scarf is on him. His hat is on him. His hat and scarf match. She did it so you had like one color on one row and another color on another row, but I like solid color scarves, so I did mine solid. And then I had leftover scraps from another FO I finished this week for myself. So I made a little blue and black, like, I don't know, marbled snowman. And I gave him a white scarf, but I have not made his hat yet, so he needs a hat, and then he'll need buttons too. So,
They're so freaking cute.
This morning for fun, I was like, hey, I've got 50 billion projects on the go. Let's do something else.
Absolutely.
So I made some snowmen.
Start all the things.
Ugh.
Finish some of them.
I needed a break. The project, ones I've got on the go right now are, they're intense projects. Like, they're not small. They're not quick by any stretch of the imagination. So I
completely understand.
I was feeling overwhelmed at just the volume that I have to do to get these things done. So I was like, nope, I need a break. All right. So about the other info. I made Diana slippers. I made Terry slippers. I finally got around to making myself a freaking pair of slippers. So I did my pair of cloud slippers, which are great over the sock slippers. They're slippy on hardwood floors because there is no grippies on these bad boys. Which, by the way, is delightful when you're chasing your cat, because then you slide and you keep coming at her. Freaks her out. But I made a pair of these out of some bulky yarn. It was just a single skein bulky yarn I had left over, which is the same yarn I made the snowman out of. So it's a blue, gray, black variegated skein of yarn in Charisma from Lion Brand, Loops and Threads. So I have myself a pair of house slippers. And then I made my sister put them on her foot to see if they would fit her feet, and she likes this size. So my sister will have the same size as me, and my mom will have the next size down. So I need to make more. When that will happen, I don't know. I'm actually running out of just random bulky yarn.
Wow.
I had random balls of bulky yarn. I was trying to find something to do with them, and I have. And I've been going through them, which is great because I wanted them out of my stash. So when bulky and worsted weight yarn goes on sale in January, I've got space to put more yarn somewhere. Because we know I'm buying some.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta make room. Alright, I have 3 more things to talk about.
I also have 3 things.
Oh, good. Your turn.
Well, I just finished the row on this one, so let's talk about this one.
Sweet.
I am so close to being done my Glam Lamb by Stephen West.
You got sleeves still.
I got, yeah, with the body is so freaking close, though. And then sleeves are like nothing. Watch me be on Sleeve Island for like months.
I was like, did you see how much steam I had on mine? And I lost all of it when I started on the sleeves.
Yes, but you hate ribbing and I don't.
I really hate ribbing.
I have no problems with ribbing. I can practically do it in my sleeves. So I don't think I'll have the sleeve problem.
Okay.
So I think the last time I showed this on the podcast, I had just done the armhole.
I believe so, yeah. You were working on you were just getting ready to work on the front.
So now I've got almost all of my front. It's looking real good. I was showing it off this weekend. Like it like fits in that nice slouchy way. It looks really weird without sleeves.
It does look really weird. It looks a lot better when you start putting the sleeves on.
Yeah. It looks really like the weirdest vest without sleeves. But it's going to look amazing when it's done. And it's so cozy. It's got, so I'm doing this out of Loops and Threads Charisma. Hey!
There's nothing wrong with a good Loops and Thread Charisma. I like that yarn. It's really good yarn.
So it's been dragged around so much, some of it's starting to get a little bit of a fuzzy halo, and honestly, I like it.
Yeah,
it makes it feel like that that favorite sweater. Yes. And I haven't even finished it yet, and I think it's going to be a favorite sweater. So I'm super pumped about this.
I keep hoping you'll get it done before New Year's.
I'm aiming for Christmas, but I'm not sure if that'll happen. But I think it'll be done by the end of the month because I'm really enjoying this.
Good.
I had a fiber flub on this one.
You did at Knit Club.
At Knit Club, I was knitting on it. I fixed it now.
If there was anywhere to have a fiber flub, it is in a room full of knitters.
You absolutely cannot see it now because I fixed it and I did a good job.
Good.
So, but this has like I-cord edging around the edges. Around the edge. Of course it's on the edges. It's not in the middle of the thing. That'd be silly.
That'd be a Lavian braid. That's something entirely different.
It would. Edgings go on the edge, guys.
Oh my gosh.
But I had forgotten to do my slip 3 with yarn in front for the I-cord edging a couple of times, and so I had these little garter stitch ridges in just going right around my edging. And I'm like, how much is that going to bother me? Is that really going to bother me? And then I noticed there was a second one and that it was going to be hanging like right about it was right about here.
So between collarbone and chest?
Yeah. And it was going to be like front and center and very noticeable. So I did the very scary thing of dropping edge stitches and picking them back up. And it actually went great. I wound up with a couple of extra large loopy bits on the back just because there was extra yarn because I'd actually knit the stitches instead of slipping them.
Mm-hmm.
But I just like wove those into the back of the I-cord, and honestly you can't see it at all. Like I fixed it and it was fine, and it actually wasn't even that scary. So yeah, I leveled up my skills. I dropped edge stitches and fixed them. That's my story. Oh, that's so warm. Oh my goodness.
Holy jeez, it's giving off a lot of heat.
Yeah, like I had to take off my other sweater because this is sitting in my lap and I'm just too warm. Like I have to take this off. I'm too warm.
Well, I mean, it was minus 37 with the wind chill this morning when I got up.
Oh, I'm like
For
stripping
the record,
here.
guys, I get up at 6 in the morning.
Yeah, I'm dressed for dance class after this, by the way, so I'm dressed for burlesque dancing, so I'm like wearing less clothing than I usually do, and I'm overheating. This is so warm.
Guys, she's got no sleeves. That's
yeah, this is less clothing than I normally wear. Also thinner pants and wearing a skirt.
Well, people can't see your pants.
Mm.
We're on the internet.
They're leggings. I have Christmassy socks. Look at these knee-high Christmassy socks.
Those are Christmassy socks. Oh my gosh.
It's so Christmas. I'm excited.
Excellent.
I'm all dressed for Christmas burlesque dance class.
You are a weird cookie.
Yes, I am, and I'm proud of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, it's your turn to talk about a thing.
My turn to talk about a thing?
Yeah.
Talk about what I'm working on right now. Guys, the work continues on Isabella's sweater. This is a pattern by Tin Can Knits. It is the Flex Light Pullover Sweater. I made some modifications because I kept messing up. It's not the pattern's fault. Entirely Jocelyn. Entirely Jocelyn. For the life of me, there's a garter, 20 stitch garter bump detailing on the shoulder, which looks really nice. But every time I worked in the round, I would forget to purl those 20 stitches and would just continuously knit. And then I would remember 2 or 3, so it looked bad. So several pull out later, this Manos del Uruguay yarn in the Alegria line in, I don't know what the color is actually called. I call it Eye Searing Pink because it is very pink. That's not actually what it's called. It's got a different color. I am about 6 repeats away from having my shoulders done. And then, or having the top part done and splitting for the shoulders, like splitting for your armholes. So at that point, I will connect it in the round once I'm done the shoulder detailing. And I'm almost done the shoulder detailing. So once the shoulder detailing is complete and finished, I will join the sweater in the round. It'll have one little tiny seam up one side of her shoulder. That's fine. She won't know it's there. Nobody else will see that it's there, so it's fine. This is a fingering weight sweater. Well, I say it is for my niece. She is a teenager. She is a size teenager. She's actually an adult, small medium. So she is technically, this will not be 50% done in January, and I could count it for our podcast anniversary. Oh, crapper, because I got to get going on this one, you guys. Oh, boy. So there's not really much to say about it. I keep continually making slow bits of progress at it because I had to start it so many times. Now I dread picking this up and working on it. I know once I get this top part done and I've got the increases done and I'm just working on the body, it'll fly a lot faster because then I can just go roundy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's not being able to go roundy that's sort of killing me at the moment, but it was definitely the right choice to make as far as things go. Now I have a problem. I seem to have knit my stitch marker in.
Awesome.
Cool.
That, I'm afraid, is a problem.
No, I have jewelry clippers. I'll just lose the stitch marker. It's not that big of a problem. Not for me, anyway. I have 50 billion stitch markers. Oh no, I lose one.
Yeah, okay.
I usually have the clippable ones anyway. I'm not a massive fan of the ones that don't clip, so...
For exactly this purpose?
For exactly this reasoning, so I am not sad to see this stitch marker go. Alright. You have 2 more items, yes?
I do. I could talk about the tiny socks that I gifted to everybody on Friday.
Conveniently enough, I was one of those gifted people, so she has the socks here to talk about. Because
Yes,
they're in the box.
They're in the little box.
I didn't even take them out of the box.
Okay.
I didn't even unpack my backpack till 6:40 this morning.
I will show off these little socks. So I made everybody a little pair of socks. They're mismatched socks.
That's fun.
I used up some sock yarn that I thought was going to be enough for an adult pair of socks, and it totally wasn't, but only by a little bit, and I was very frustrated, and so I just had all these little tiny balls of this destroyed skein of sock yarn that turned out to be absolutely perfect. I used most of them up for all these little socks. I made 8 of these, so 4 pairs of socks, and honestly I'm probably going to make some more because these things take about an hour to make. And making a whole sock in an hour is so satisfying.
It's the little quick projects when you got so many big ones on the go. It feels really nice.
They're so
I'm really excited. I like the socks. They came with a bag of foot soak.
Oh yes. Wow, I can smell it from here.
Yes, we can.
So I went with a foot theme. There was foot soak and a pair of sock ornaments.
They're very cute.
I thought it was a little bit clever. And I took some nice pictures because I finished the last sock at work on Friday. Because of course I did.
Okay.
But we have this lovely Christmas tree in our lobby, so I took some nice pictures of that. So those will be going up on Instagram this week, and if you can't wait, they're already on my project page. That is linked in the show notes at northernknitspodcast.com.
True story. All right. I'm really excited about the socks. I'm glad you got them done on time.
I was never gonna not get them done on time. It was just a matter of how much leeway am I gonna have between finishing them and going to knit club, and the answer was about 45 minutes. So I finished them. I amused myself watching people fail to build gingerbread houses at work. Went, oh no, it's 6 o'clock and knit club starts at 7. Raced home, wrapped them, and went to knit club.
Boy.
Yeah. Hey, got done on time. Yeah.
That's alright. About the time when Terry was texting to make sure we were okay, it hadn't occurred to me to text her to go, we will be running late. Diana has to pick me up. And she will be running late. This is how December's craft club goes for Diana.
I was so distracted with people making gingerbread houses at work. It was great.
It happened. Alright, so if you're new, you'll have no idea what I'm talking about. If you've watched us before, you'll know a couple of weeks ago, like what, a week or 2 ago now? I finished an elf hat. And it was huge, and it was long, and it was red, and it's actually just sitting off screen. My sister really liked it, so she requested one, but her head's a bit smaller than mine. So I'm making one for her, and it doesn't fit on my head. Her head is smaller than mine, so I'm making her one too. So hers is white and green instead of white and red. So her daughter, my niece, will get the red one, and my sister will get the green one. My sister has a normal sized head. My head is bigger than normal. Like, you've seen me with hats. Like, I can't put on a regular brimmed hat. I just can't. My head's too big. It doesn't fit. My sister has a regular sized head. It's kind of nice. Well, even when we were doing things like when we did the, when I did the Sarah Hare Don't Care last year, I cast on extra stitches on my brim. Like a whole extra repeat because I knew I needed it. Yeah. Like, I know I need a bigger thing. So that's what I did. So I'm working on my sister's. I'm just about ready to start decreasing on hers. But I mean, I don't have to have hers done till Christmas Day. So this, again, is just in the evening. I kind of putter with it. But it is a very long hat. I'll pull the red one out. When it's done, it'll look like the red one. Which is huge. And I can wear it on my head because my niece's head measurements are similar to mine. There you go. There's my holiday hat. We are now festive.
Such festive.
Such festive. So I'm working on my sister's right now. So niece is done. my sister asked for one, so I will make her one. She'll have the same giant mofo of a pom-pom on the end of it, because it is a thing. I already told my mom she can't have one. I don't have time to make a third one before Christmas. Mom just laughed at me. My mother doesn't do hats. She's like me in hats. It's not a thing we do. So I will wear my hat while you talk about your third item.
Okay.
And then I will talk about my final item, which is strangely enough more crochet work. I do, well, apparently I've fallen down a crochet thing, and that's what I really want to do right now.
That's fine. I'm doing 0 crochet right now, so. Alright, this is, I'm pretty certain I've talked about this on the podcast before. Some gloves that I gave to my mom. I looked it up on my Ravelry page.
Yes.
I finished these in 2015, and my mom has loved them literally to bits. They are falling apart, and they've been sitting in my repair bin as I go, how am I going to fix these? Because the part that's falling apart is a turned hem with a little bit of simple lace, and it's the inside of the first finger and thumb that's just utterly destroyed because she wears them while she's driving. And so I have come to the conclusion that I think the easiest way to fix this is to simply re-knit the ends of both of these gloves. I think...
You have the leftover, you got spare yarn for that?
Yeah, fortunately I have an entire skein of leftover yarn.
Oh geez, you're good to go.
Yeah, so I can absolutely do that. I was just really hoping I wasn't going to have to do that, but the state of these is such that I think I just have to re-knit the ends of these.
We're going to take a look at maybe doing like a double knit section right there where she wore it out so much last time.
I was thinking about maybe trying to find a little bit of like nylon thread or something.
Something to strengthen it right there.
Yeah.
That would make sense, because she's just going to wear them out right there again.
Yeah. So, we'll see if I can find such a thing, but otherwise these are fantastic. This is the Susie Rogers Reading Mitts pattern. It's free on Ravelry. It's, I can tell you that the turned hem is you knit a little bit, then you do some basic knit 2 together yarn over eyelet lace, and then when you turn the hem it makes this little scalloped edge that's super cute. And then there's some garter stitch, and then some more of the knit 2 together, just basic eyelet lace, a whole whack of stockinette, and then you finish off the same way that you started. So they're super simple, and if you do them in a nice yarn, they look absolutely fantastic. These get so many compliments, which is really nice when I'm out with my mom and she just like puts them on a counter while she's paying for something, and somebody's like, oh, those mitts are so nice, where'd you get them? Like, my daughter made them, and she's obviously so proud, and so I am absolutely delighted that she has worn them to bits, but I really need to fix them now. So I think I have to re-knit them, or re-knit part of them, and then probably I will just re-knit her some fingerless mitts in a yarn that'll hold up better as well. And I'm really hoping that I used needles that the needle size that was specified in the pattern, because I didn't write that down on my project page.
Whoa.
Yeah, because that was like 4 years ago before I was smart enough to do that.
Live and learn?
Yeah. So I hope this is the right size of needle. We're gonna find out. Of course, my gauge is probably totally different than it was 4 years ago.
Just realized I'm drinking out of my Sorry Santa Naughty Feels So Nice mug while wearing my Christmas elf hat.
It's a good look. I think maybe that should be our thumbnail this week.
If it randomly chooses it, we can leave it that way, sure. I don't have a problem with that. Because, boy, I'm looking really Christmassy right now. I'm assuming. I can't see the screen.
You look super Christmassy. But like, I mean, unimpressed Christmassy. Just like...
Like my cat while I was cuddling her earlier to torture her.
Like, somebody has given me this cup, and somebody has given me this hat, and I feel obligated to use them, but I am not festive.
Bah humbug.
Pretty much.
This is the one who listens to Christmas music just after Remembrance Day, right until Christmas.
Extra funny because you're so Christmassy.
Quite Christmassy, yeah.
We were trying to make a Christmas playlist at work, and we even already had like 14 hours of Christmas music on it, and she was still able to come up with like 4 things that weren't on it that were great.
Yeah. Hey, I forgot about the Pentatonics till later.
Oh yeah, that's definitely on there.
Good. It's like, they're a good a cappella band. They should be on everybody's Christmas playlist.
Absolutely.
In my mind. But I mean I left out a lot of the ones that are like I grew up listening to classics. because those are definitely country. And not everyone's into that theme of style of music. I grew up listening to them. And there is a Christmas album that I grew up listening to that I cannot stand. My mother delights in playing and then now phoning me while it's on because I won't hang up on her. I will just whine like I'm 4 and can't have a cookie the entire time. It's the Alvin and the Chipmunks Christmas album.
Oh.
I cannot stand it. My mother loves it, but I think most of her enjoyment comes from the sheer volume of eyeball rolling. And oh my god, Mom, can we change the album that comes out of my mouth? She called me this year. I was like, did you seriously have to call me while that was playing? Couldn't have waited till another one was on. I like every other Christmas album you own. Why that one? Mom's like, because I knew you'd say that. I was like, just Sammy Kershaw's Christmas album. Love that one. I grew up with that one too. So good. Gosh, Alvin and the Chipmunks. I can't stand it. I cannot stand it.
The Christmas album where it's not Christmas unless we listen to this album. It's like it's children's music. Like absolute like little kid children's music.
That's not for me.
It was oh gosh. The group that did Skinnamarink Dinky Dink.
Oh, those guys. Okay.
Yeah, they have a Christmas album, and
sure.
We have listened to that album at least once every Christmas, and it's just not Christmas unless we have that album, to the point where when the cassette tape died finally one year and we couldn't have it, I was so upset. They went out hunting through like vintage CD well not vintage, but like secondhand CD bins to find me this Christmas album on CD.
You are a strange cookie.
You know what? I demand very few things of my Christmas, but sausage stuffing, turkey, and this Christmas album are on there.
And your mom's cookies.
And my mom's cookies.
Don't even, ma'am. You're up the wazoo with traditions you are not very willing to bend on.
You know what? It's important. Some traditions are very important.
Your tradition should be to make new traditions. Next year you will have all sorts of new traditions.
Yeah, like flying home for Christmas.
You won't be anywhere near Christmas preparations. You'll be showing up a day or two before.
Yeah, it'll be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still gonna have to like cook the turkey. It's still gonna be me.
Yeah.
I'll just have to fly to another province to do it first.
Yeah.
That's okay. I don't mind.
Cat's back.
She was asleep.
Well, listen, we had some hard playing going on there. We needed a nap afterwards. Now we're awake again to get into mischief and trouble for it is Sunday afternoon. Alright, last thing. I have been working on some pot holders for a pot holder set for my sister. It's crocheted. There is no pattern. I suppose I could write something up for everybody if people want it. It wouldn't be too hard. Because I do it from memory. So that's obviously an easy one to do. It would be more like a guideline suggestion. So I like to single crochet 2 squares. 2 squares. This is out of Bernat Handcrafter cotton because it is going to be used as a hot pad. So we don't want it to melt on people or stretch. We want it to maintain its size and shape. What I will do now that I've got the 2 squares is I will half double crochet these squares together. And these are single crochet squares. And then I will do this again. I will make 2 more squares, crochet them together, and then what you have is double thick crochet hot pots that you can take stuff out of the microwave with, you can remove from the stove, you can put pots on top of, but the double thick, and I make them quite large. So from corner to corner they go from just below my wrist to above my longest finger, and I have a men's medium large hand. Which sort of gives people a rough idea. I'm a lady's extra large hand. Which makes sense given my height and my parameters. Like, I'd look silly with smaller. Like, it would look proportionally would not look good. Very odd. So, yeah, my hands fit the size of the rest of me. And that's fine. So, I made the pot holder this big so that way, when I use mine, I don't burn my hands, which is definitely something that you can do when you start to lose your vision or have depth perception problems, or if you're klutzy, or if, you know, any multitude of other things. But I initially started making them because the smaller pot holders, which are the ones that I had, I would burn myself because I wouldn't see what was going on. So, and then I made a set for my mom, and she really liked them for the same reasoning. And then my sister just kept looking at me. I kept going, would you like some? And she's like, yes, now. I'm like, okay. So I'm working on those. I'm hoping to get those done for her. Because again, it's something that if I work on it for while I'm watching a YouTube episode or something in the evening, then I can get these out pretty quickly for her. So I am working on a set of pot holders for my sister for her to have. My hat and my hair are having issues. No, she changed napping locations. That's what we did. We were now napping on the couch, as opposed to napping wherever it was we were napping before.
Yeah,
in our box, maybe.
Fiber again.
That is the last project. Though, with only one Sunday left to go before Christmas, we'll just have to see how many FOs I can have next week, won't we?
Alright, do it up.
Yikes. Okay.
Okay.
There will not be a fingering weight sweater in that pile, guys.
Oh, no.
No.
That would be insane.
I would have to literally stop sleeping, and I sleep a lot.
Sleeping is great. I think we're on to Yarn on the Go.
Cool beans. We both actually left the house for Knit Club this week because I wasn't hosting this month. I usually host. I'm super okay hosting.
It was fun going to somebody else's place.
It was nice to get out and visit.
I think Miss D was delighted to be able to sit on the floor.
Yes.
She does seem like...
She is a fantastic floor sitter, and she enjoys it. And I'm like, more power to you. If that's where you're comfortable, do it up.
It was kind of cute.
It was very cute.
I also went out to visit my parents and decorate a ton of cookies.
But did you knit?
I did. Before and after the cookies, there was much drinking and sitting and knitting, and I did not screw this up while I was drinking and knitting at my parents'. I did screw it up while I was not drinking and knitting at Knit Clubs, so...
That it says other really, really bad things about your parents' level of communication. Or way too much about how chaotic our level of communication is. It could say bad things either way.
It was definitely more communicating going on with
that
Knit Club.
Says exactly how much rum you put in your eggnog at Knit Club.
You know what?
Hey, I drank eggnog. I just had mine without booze.
Yes, uncontaminated.
True story. Prefer my eggnog pure, thank you very much. And dairy-free and gluten-free. And
just about the only thing free you don't want it is sugar-free?
Yeah, that's true. Hey, listen, we discussed before we started, I have all the appropriately sociable, acceptable drug addictions. I'm addicted to coffee and sugar. Both are legal and fully accepted in this day and age. I am fine.
Yep.
Alright. Yeah, no, I started by working on my sister's hat, but the lighting wasn't quite bright enough for me, so then I moved to my sweater, the Isabel sweater. So the niece's sweater got a bunch of work done on Friday, which is good because it's all bits and pieces add up towards progress.
Plus that thing like glows in the dark.
Plus this thing like glows in the dark, so it's sort of my go-to take with me if I don't know what the lighting's going to be like situation, because boy oh, I can usually work on this without much trouble. Though the next time we're over at that house, I might steal that corner chair that Missy was in, because I think the lighting's better over there for me. It just means I have to get there on time, so I have a choice.
I'm sorry I made you late.
It's fine. It's not the end of the world. Sorry. I was working. It wasn't killing me.
Wool gathering.
Just our usuals. Thank you if you're a new supporting Patreon member. We do send out a message to you. And if you're a wonderful longtime Patreon member, we have our e-knit-in. I like calling it an e-knit-in. I don't know if that's even remotely cool, but that's what I like to call it. Right. Happening this coming Saturday on the 21st at noon Central Standard Time.
Yep. Which is
noon our time. That's just sort of seems to be just about a good time for everybody else. People aren't up too late or up too early. There's a couple places where that doesn't work, but we try. So we'll sit down, we'll chat and knit with you guys on a Google Hangout for about 2 hours, give or take. Sometimes longer, sometimes it's right at 2. I got a boogie. Depends on what's going on, really. It's just how it works. And then that'll be it for this year for Patreon knit-ins. That's crazy. We're reaching year-end stuff, you guys.
Yeah.
Whew. Hey, on the bright side, we did our wrap-up video for the 2019 challenge. And the startup video for the 2020 challenge already. They're in my, they're actually already in my editing queue for this week. Diana doesn't have to do any of the work with those ones. It's strictly all me. I might get you to export audio for me, because that's still...
Oh, yeah, sure.
That still gives me grief.
That's totally fair.
That still gives me grief. But everything else I've done. So if you see spelling typo errors, that's just me and my screen reader having issues, guys. I try. It's not always smooth. So I think that's it.
Yeah. Podcast Anniversary starts on January the 1st.
It does.
We're knitting adult-sized sweaters from Tin Can Knits. As long as, if you have a work in progress already, or you just want to start early, as long as...
Work in progress?
Sure. As long as it's less than 50% done, as of January the 1st, 2020, you are welcome to join it.
I can't win prizes anyway, I'm hosting.
So yeah, that's really it. Pick a sweater by Tin Can Knits. I'm doing flax. It's free.
I'm going to do the Harvest cardigan because I quite like the look of the cardigan. So I'd like to start there. I'm currently working on their flax light, but I like cardigans. So I'm going to try that one. And then I think I might try to sneak in one of the ones from the Strange Brew book. I really like those ones too. Yeah. So, but that just comes down to how much time I've got left. So we shall see. So we're excited to see everybody's sweaters and what they're doing. So super pumped. 3 years.
It's crazy.
It does not seem like that long.
No, I know.
Really doesn't. Oh my gosh. Okay. The pom-pom has made a run for it. My hair is too slippery because I showered this morning. It won't stay where it's supposed to. Okay, I fixed it. I fixed it.
Alright, that just leaves literature. We're just boogieing today.
Woohoo!
I finished this week The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks.
Hey, good.
Yeah, that makes, I think, 21 books for the year.
That's an excellent number of books.
21? 22? I have exceeded my goal of 20, which I am very proud of.
It's a good goal.
Given that I read like 5 books the year before that.
That's fair.
So, yeah. Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks is interesting.
Good. We were enjoying reading it.
Yeah.
Did you get your magical cat one done before you guys do your...
Heck no. Chapter 1 was 40 pages long.
Holy cheebers.
But like that in itself was a fascinating story.
Good, good.
So I'm talking about the Book of Night with Moon, which I got in like a Secret Santa book club thing last year at work. And was trying to read in time for the book club meeting about the Secret Santa thing. This year didn't happen. Chapter 1 was absolutely fantastic. So there are cat wizards, and it follows the main character whose name, I'm going to try and say it very Englishy, is like Riao, but I imagine in cat language it's more like that sound when a cat is purring and it sort of meows.
Yes.
Yeah, but I can't make that sound.
We're not exactly vocal cord designed the same way.
So there's a whole prologue in that book talking about cat language and how they don't really have any consonants, but they have like 37 vowels or something. Plus all the body language. And
they would, wouldn't they?
Yeah. So when they're talking about how the cats are communicating in the story, there's a lot more notes about the body language and the smells and there's like a whole etiquette system. It's crazy. But so this main character is part of a team of cats that's basically part of the Ministry of Magic, but like...
For cats?
Yeah. It's like the Ministry of Magic, but this particular team doesn't get to do like the super exciting things. They're like the keep the utilities running team. So there's these portals.
That's important, guys.
It is. It's really important, and they take it very seriously.
They should.
So there's these portals all over New York City, so they can like fast travel between, I guess, all over the world. But there's this one in the New York subway that it wasn't working, and they were like, the entire way there, they're complaining about, oh, we just fixed this one last week, and what idiot went in here and broke it again, and blah, 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 and just like office talk about fixing a magic portal in the New York subway.
Yep.
And the way they talk about the magic is partially like it's weaving, so there's like weaving and fiber terms in there, which is great.
Yeah.
But also they talk about it like it's code and they're keeping servers and networks running, which I also love.
Like this book was designed for you.
It's like it was made for me. I don't know who gave it to me, but I need to like give them a hug or something. It's like It's like my new favorite book.
Oh boy.
And I've only read one chapter.
I would.
So, yeah, I've read all of one chapter, and I highly recommend The Book of Night with Moon by Diane Duane. Alright, that's my reading this week.
I have been buried in year-end work, so I did not get to my TBR list for the Triwizard Tournament. But I did finish book 8 of the Expanse series. So, until book 9 comes out next year, I'm done.
I really gotta finish that now. Both you and Chris have finished it, and I gotta finish it so I can discuss what's going on, because I know whatever state it's in at the end of book 8 is not where it is at the beginning of book 7.
No.
They always up the ante and, like, fundamentally change the world in some way.
The state of the universe at the end of book 8 is different from the state of the universe at the beginning of book 7. It's almost like you're at the end of an entirely different book.
Yes. Well, like, a lot of things are, like, the state of the characters are different, but the state of the world is relatively the same. In The Expanse, they've fundamentally changed the state of the universe in every single book.
No, it tweaks it. Good, though. I did enjoy the series. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a good read. And I want him to finish up with book 9, and I'd like it to be 2020. But I mean, I'm stuck waiting till 2020 for Brandon Sanderson's last of the Way of the King series, too. So those are the ones with, like, you're listening to a book that has how many hours? I was like, oh, only 55, this one.
Only, yeah.
So I've got some big reads on my book for next year that will be happening. 'Cause I try not to start series till they're almost finished because I can go through them so fast. I find it irritating to have to wait to find out what'll happen, and I get distracted and I never go back. There are so many series that I've started that I've not been able to keep up with because I enjoyed it, but not enough to stock it. And I'll forget, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, that was like 4 books ago, and I don't remember when I read the first 3. So it's kind of how it goes. It's kind of weird considering I never finished the Wheel of Time trilogy, Wheel of Time book series.
Yeah, isn't that like 14 books or something crazy?
Yes, it is. But it took forever to come out. I got bored about a third of the way through, gave up, and never went back.
I'll have to read that one sometime. That'll be like a year-long project.
Yeah, there's a lot of books. But yeah, so no, I really enjoyed book 8, so I'm excited for book 9. I'm excited for Diana to get close enough that we can start talking about things, because I have to remember where she is versus where I am.
Chris has been bugging me to catch up for like a year because he wants to talk about it.
Well, you can tell him I'm done book 8.
Yeah.
And I answer my texts like he does, so...
I was driving.
People don't let me do that anymore.
Anyway, I think that's everything.
Yeah, that's it. That's all.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, I also don't want you to be late for your dance class because it's your last one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I dressed up special for it. I even brought heels.
Oh boy.
I know.
Do not send me another text
I'm
saying
gonna
you
fall
fell.
over. I'm gonna fall over. It's gonna be great.
Doing something sexy.
Yeah. I'm gonna fall over doing something sexy. It'll be great.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, I will say until next week, I'm Jocelyn.
I'm Diana.
And no matter where your week takes you, don't forget to knit. Well, yeah, but if you do it in heels, it could hurt.